Hello and welcome to the Liberia TV network. We are today in the street. Basically today we are here at Camp Johnson Road. We're trying to get a citizen view as to regards to the incident that occurred yesterday at the RIA with former President George Weah, and also the resignation of other national issues. So we'll be in conversation with one of our brothers. He will better introduce himself to us and then we can move forward. So can you kindly call your name to us?
Thank you so much. My name is Clarence Isati.
So there have been training issues, especially national issues. Yesterday, while the president was en route to Liberia and immediately he landed on the RIA, the president was denied access to the VIP lodge. What's your take about such?
I think protocol demands that he use the old VIP that he used. But let's firstly understand that while the president had the authority, he was given the privileges to use the VIP lodge, the newly constructed VIP lodge, and other private facilities. But it won't be like that now. Former President George Weah is an ordinary citizen, and so we don't see that as anything. We just see that as Liberian went to welcome him, and that was the most important part of it. We don't see that as any problem.
Especially when that particular place was built during his tendency as president.
Well, I think President Weah himself admitted saying that that wasn't a problem for him. He's an ordinary Liberian and going about doing the Liberian people work as an ordinary citizen, and just how he has been. So, people will use it as a propaganda, but me being a Liberian, understand that protocol demands that particular place that the president, people expected former President George Weah to use, protocol does not give him the right to be able to use that place.
What's your take immediately when former President Weah landed yesterday on the soil of Liberia? There was a resignation of the chairperson of the CDC, and also we learned that alleged information that former Mayor Jefferson Kochi has resigned. So what sign does this actually show to Liberians across the country?
These things happen. It happens whenever you lost an election. Sometimes the party go through these things. CDC is going through our own crisis.
But it is timely.
Stronger. But here is the thing: it's not a surprise. The resignation of Chairman Molu did not come as a surprise to most of us that have been following the CDC activities.
Really?
It's not a surprise because time without number, there have been allegations leveled against Chairman Molu, and wherein he had taken unilateral decision of the CDC. Even some executive had issue with him. Even before the president could come, there was a communication that was sent to Chairman Molu as it relates to the retreat. So all these things, coupled with non-compliance to executive rules.
But Chairman Molu said in one of his phrases that he was banned from using some party amenities, some of the utility that he should have actually enjoyed from the party wasn't given to him, and so with that it impeded his work as chairman.
Well, as a patriotic Liberian, what I can tell you is that Chairman Molu served the CDC very well, and there is time for everything. I think this is the best time for him to be able to resign. And like he said in his letter, he's about to do the Liberian people work, which we welcome a lot. And we are very happy that he's willing to render his services to the Liberian people that matters to each and every one of us, and not just the CDC party. So I think there is time for everything. CDC will come back. There will be new chairman, or maybe perhaps he may return. No one knows the future, but we hope that the CDC can be able to come back much stronger for the 2029, and then be able to put out a better leadership on the national scene that will be able to contest the election.
So firstly, my name is Augustus Ochedi.
So Augustus, of recent, the president have been having numerous of carrying on numerous of nominations. Especially where we are seeing young people of our age have been nominated to various ministerial positions, and also they have been appointed to directors' position and other positions across the country. What's your take about that?
Well, my take is I think it is welcoming. I think it is what we need to see. The young people need to start getting hold of leadership. But one thing I think is very paramount is qualification based. So if a young man has been appointed to a certain position, it is good because we are up there for young people taking the front seat of leadership. So that will raise my concern now if those young guys are qualified. But I do believe it is in the private the president. He knows that those people are qualified, and then the reason he has appointed most of them to those positions. And I think it is welcoming. We love it, we Liberians, and I believe that the young people, it's about time we explore, we do the people's job. The money that we have received, we can, work within the money of the president in order to change our country Liberia. But I do appreciate the president nominating young folks to serve in his government. I think it brings inclusiveness and it brings attraction. And also, it gives encouragement to a lot of young people out there that education is good. It doesn't need you go to school. You too one day might be a minister, might be a deputy minister, and so forth. So I think it's good, it's welcome. I must applaud the president and the government for such sound decision made.
You actually thinking about or making more emphasis on qualification. I now assume maybe the person is qualified but not competence. Do you still need said person in any given position?
So qualification and competency has been a debate in administration and management. If you go to the human resource management era, there's another era of study, you understand that qualification, normally the premise for qualification is what? For employment is qualification. So if a person is not qualified to serve in a certain position, it raises question and it raises eyebrow. But I do believe that qualification is the thing that should be put first before experience.
So let's hold this right. Let's see. Assuming the person is competent, okay, right? And that person is not qualified.
That is having experience, right?
Yeah, okay. So which one do you take most as compared to the person being qualified but don't have the experience or don't have they are not efficient to actually carry on say working?
So what makes a person qualified are just two things. One, you having the full requisite to be qualified for the job, the full degree, and then you having the experience. So the person who claim to be qualified must first have the degree, right? That makes the person to be qualified. And secondly, the qualification has good experience. So experience plays a major factor. But one of the key thing is the qualification. That is, the person should be first maybe a degree holder. So it's based on the appointment or based on the work qualification that is stated for. But I believe that if the person has an experience, that is not enough. What is enough should be a degree, because if you say that experience should be the hallmark for employment, then there's no need for one coming to school. What one will just need to do just to go and find work, be working, and say I have 10 years experience on the job. But then are you qualified? No, you're not qualified. But having typical experience does not mean you are qualified. What makes you qualified is the degree. So, and assuming that you have the experience, you might just be a certain job at a certain time, but when the proper requirement time reaches, you will not be allowed to work. That's why I love one of these quotations. I'm just forgetting the author's name. He said, it is better to have and not prepare than prepare and not have. So I'm a be qualified, right? But I don't have job. It is better that I wait for me getting job than then me working on a job, not qualified. So it puts my work into jeopardy. So I think it is better that you go to school, acquire a degree, and then after which you can sit back, look for a job, then you are secure to your job place. But in unlike case, you're not qualified, you just have an experience, that you cannot be permanent or you can't be secure in that job. That's my take on that.
Wow. Okay, that moved to yesterday's incident. Yesterday, former President George Monrovia was denied access to actually move through the VIP laws. Okay. What's your take on said issue? You've been one of the permanent citizens in Liberia.
Well, what I can say to that is that the former president, in honor of President George Monrovia, we firstly must applaud him for the smooth transitional process of period. That alone demonstrates some level of democracy. And as we are being denied access, honestly, I don't think it was fair. But I've come to see the reasons of which he was denied access to the executive lodge at the airport. But what I would say is that, because according to speculation, they say it was a direct mandate that came from the Ministry of State or from the President's office that denying the former president entry at the executive lodge. That is not right, and you may understand President Weah is a kind person, is a kind-hearted, is a loving person. One of the things I do admire yesterday that his supporter never put any about it.
But assuming it was just a new law that has been placed in by the current regime. Do you still see that as an issue?
If that was a new law, I believe that it would have been published, but there was no publication of those laws, then I would say it's a new law. I think it has some political motive behind it, but believe you me, it has some political motive behind it, but honestly, on the part of our leaders, it was unfair. They shouldn't have denied our former president access at the executive laws. But like I stated previously, the president is a calm man, so he decided to use the ordinary route, and that showed or that demonstrates high level of leadership. So like I listen to the president, he's here and then he's here for political reasons. He has come to.
I'm Richmond Petro. I'm a junior senior at the level of the African level at this point in the problem.
Alright, so with regards to the Hulu Balu, yesterday there was some trending information that we got. President Weah was denied access to the VIP law. What's your take, you being also one of the prominent citizens in Liberia?
Yeah, so thank you for the opportunity. Sincerely, the incident yesterday reminds me of a famous statement in Liberia that says the truck that can build the executive mansion cannot pass. The truck that can build the executive mansion cannot pass even the mansion when its mansion is being built or established.
Wow.
Seeing President Weah being denied access to the VIP loan is so unfortunate, and it's a disservice to a former president in our motherland. I condemn it in everything that it should not be done that way. President Weah, when he was president in this country, he protected former President Elling. I saw it as an obligation upon President Baka to make sure that President Weah's fundamental rights as a former leader is protected under the Constitution of Liberia. So it's so unfortunate that it happens to him. In my opinion, I see it like it should not be happening in the contemporary society of ours. Let President Baka, who came on the matter that he wants to rescue Liberia from every single way she was falling, rescue this country, not in form that it will be partial. That President Weah, who built a VIP law, will not have access to it. Or today is President Weah, it could be another president, who knows? It could be me, it could be any other person who will want to vote somewhere that he's supposed to have access to, and he may be denied for whatsoever reason they can describe it.
So what's your take about the resignation? Moluba Molu, former chairman for CDC, resigns. What's your take on this, sir?
I followed the resignation. I read thoroughly that resignation statement by former Chairman Molu. I'm not a member of the CDC, but as I go through the reading process, I was internally crippled to understand something that was happening. Chairman Molu expressed a lot in that resignation statement. And trust me, if there have been some of those things happening, trust me, I cannot support it if I was in that capacity. And Chairman Molu resignation, I think, from what I have read, is timeless, and that it will serve him in the best position to make his own independent decision, because it seems like there are things he wants to do, there are ideas, there are proposals, there are recommendations that he makes, but the listener bearer is not looking in his line. Since that audio was leaked about him saying some things about President Weah, I think that's where the hassle started between two of them. Though he won Congress, when he went to Congress, though he won the election as the national chair and the longest serving chair, but I think things have not been smooth, and these are the things that may have been attributed to the defeat of President Weah today, because when there is no confusion within, confusion outside cannot cause distraction to you. But when there is a confusion within, any confusion coming from outside will always distract you from your goal.
Thank you.